What's up, guys? My name is Chico Moya, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, consider subscribing to the channel. It's the best channel on YouTube, I promise. So, in the recent couple of weeks, I've done a few videos about race, and you guys seem to have really enjoyed it. And when I look back at those videos, I sit back and I think to myself, like, what did I say that was special? Everything I said, or all of the thoughts that are shared, seem to be just normal kind of thoughts. And I thought that today, what I'll try and do is explain a little bit about where I'm coming from and what's running through my thoughts, or at least what sort of foundation I'm standing on to view the world as I do right now. Because I'm from South Africa, I'm sure you've heard that before, and South Africa is a very racially charged country, and growing up, I had to think about race all the time. It was in politics, it was in friendships, relationships, it was in your face all the time. So growing up, race was an important thing for me. As I got older, I leaned a little bit more to the side of seeing racism wherever I could. And I guess in South Africa, it's a little bit different, or it was a little bit different, especially back then, because if there's a violent crime between two peoples of different races, race can feasibly be one of the reasons why that violent act happened. Not all the time, but it just makes a lot more sense. Where, for me, it doesn't make sense is in a country like Finland. When people talk about race being systematic here in Finland, I'm like, what do you mean? Systematic how? Where? Racism is systematic? It just simply doesn't make any sense to me. So personally, I believe in the concept of colorblindness. Now, what I don't mean is the fact that when you look at someone, you don't see their skin color, or you don't feel a certain way when you see them, or blah, blah, blah. Nothing like that. That's not what I mean. I mean, trying to the best of your ability to treat people equally, regardless of the color of their skin. It's something that we all need to work towards. It's something that we need to be fighting for, and it's something that needs to be reflected in policies and in friendships and at work and all this sort of stuff, because I genuinely believe that life will be better if we just saw each other as human beings and celebrated our differences. Yes, I love my skin color. I think it's awesome, right? And if we all lived in a world where we went into situations viewing things through that lens, I think there would be a lot of issues that would be sorted out a lot quicker, in my opinion. Say you've got a lot of asylum seekers coming from a country where people are more likely dark-skinned, and they are coming from a war-torn place, and they are fleeing for their lives, and then they arrive to a country here in Europe, Sweden, Finland, Norway, whatever. Now, say the country does a really bad job of integrating people. Let's take Sweden, for example. And within that community, violence starts breaking out, or gangs start popping out. How important is the race of the people, the color of their skin in that situation to sort out the situation? How important is the color of someone's skin? I personally think that the color of the person's skin is almost meaningless in a situation like that, because the same thing can happen, say, if there were biker gangs and they were all white and came from another part of Europe, and a similar thing happened. The color of their skin is not what's important. What is important is what they are doing and what needs to be sorted out. To me, it makes no difference if a white person is poor or a black person is poor. It makes no difference if a white person steals from me or a black person steals from me. It's the theft or the poverty that is the issue that needs to be sorted out. So now, when things like that happen, one thing I've noticed is that you get three different responses. On the one hand, you get racist people because, yes, I'm sure you watching this understand that there are people who are racist and that will never go away. And the racist people will look at that and be like, yeah, they are doing it because they are black or brown or Asian or white or whatever. Then on the other hand, you've got the other side of people who will say that, why are you only pointing at the black people or the brown people doing violence? Now, when you take these two things, you've got two sides that are just, they both don't make sense. And then there's the approach that I take, which I believe is the correct way, which is simply the fact that in this community, this is happening. What can we do to fix what is happening in this community as we would fix it in every other community? What do we need to do to cease the violence? Is there education that needs to be done? Do we need to start integrating people a lot better? Or say that it's got nothing to do with immigrants and it's got to do with a certain community that already lives in the country and has been there for generations? Does focusing on race fix a situation? I don't think so. And I watched a TED Talk by a guy called Coleman Hughes, and he talks about this idea of colorblindness, and he talks about creating policies that are more so based on the financial situations of people as opposed to the color of their skin. Same thing for, let's say, crime. If you commit a crime, I don't care what you look like. I don't care what language you speak. I don't care where you are from. If you commit violent crimes that really hurt other people, you ought to be prosecuted just like anyone else would be. And I think that if us collectively as people began to view things that way, a lot of these situations would be sorted out, because now you're not in this weird place of trying to treat people a little differently because of their skin color. I think that just causes a lot more harm. If you are enjoying this video, please leave this video a like and subscribe to the channel, and even hit the little notification bell so you know whenever I release a new video. And I've also got some merchandise. If you want to support me, it's all just down there. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Being black and talking about this sort of stuff is really funny to me because I get a couple of different reactions. There are times when I can get attacked by other black people who tell me that I am overlooking things or I'm shilling for white people. There are other white people as well who tell me that I'm supporting racist ideology. I am just pro treating people equally, regardless of what they look like. I think that is the best way forward. And now in a country like Finland, the reason why I speak so loudly about this here is because I don't want Finland to fall prey to that trap of race baiting. To me, Finnish people have always seemed very pragmatic. They look at things as they are and deal with it. And I think that needs to stay. Once you fall down the rabbit hole of calling a bunch of people racist or any of that sort of stuff, without first fully going in and trying to see what the actual issue is. If Finnish people are voting for a party that is viewed as far right or racist or whatever, you can give two answers to that. You can either say, yes, more than half the Finnish population is simply just racist. Or what is this group offering that these people want? Are they being a lot stricter on immigration policies? Are they wanting to come down harder on crime and all that sort of stuff? I just find that race shouldn't be the first thing that people jump on top of to sort out situations or to try and judge what is happening. Because even for me as a black person, I have spoken to a lot of black people who believe that racism is systematically jammed into every part of society. They see racism in everything. And of course, people can live the way they want to live and whatnot. But I think that way of viewing the world is just so inefficient and exhausting. Color blindness does not mean that you're not allowed to enjoy things with your own culture or your own race or whatever. Let's say if I enjoy hanging out with black people because black people have a sort of vibe that I enjoy, and there's African food that I enjoy or whatnot. That's not what I'm saying. All those things can still be enjoyed, and people can still hang out in the communities they prefer to hang out in. That's got nothing to do with racism. That's just preference. We all have prejudice. We all do. I don't care who you are. I don't care how liberal you think you are. You definitely have prejudice. But the point of it isn't that you try your hardest to manhandle your emotions and just stretch them out and rip yourself apart to start feeling a certain way about a certain group of people. I don't think that would work. I think the best thing that you can do is to try to the best of your ability to treat everyone equally, regardless of what they look like. That is the best thing you can do, the best place to start. And by starting off there, it allows things to change. But that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a little bit meandering, but I hope I got my point across. And you guys are totally awesome. By the time I send this video out, I will possibly be on my way to Sweden. But it's going to be my first time. But otherwise, guys, let me know below what your thoughts are. Let me know what other videos you would like me to do. And yeah. You guys are awesome. Have a fantastic day, evening, or whenever you see this. Peace. Bye.